This is my 1948 Ford Anglia, 10 horsepower, 1172cc. I've owned it for 13 years. It's a full restoration. Took about 7 years to do the full restoration, time and money. She was brought from Waimate in the South Island, and had work done on her over a number of years. The panel work was done by Phil Clark Motors in Silverdale, replacing the bottom inside struts here, the struts on the inside here as well, and then a new fabricated boot which had rusted out. Guards have been stripped back down to all bare metal stripping, and also new guttering all the way across on both sides. We also remanufactured the running boards, and I recovered them with a period rubber obtained from Tauranga. The rims were sandblasted as well, each primed and then painted in the same colour as the car. Bonnet stripped as well, everything was stripped down, lights, new bulbs, and then all the bumper work and chrome work was redone. Everything straightened and re-chromed, as well as the front linings on the bonnet as well, and the hood supports. Windscreen was a replacement one. Unfortunately it broke getting it out, so I'm a member of the Ford 8 and 10 club in Auckland, and they had glass for the vehicle. We also didn't replace the canvas insert on the roof. A lot of work there to be done on that, wasn't worthwhile, and the club had a roof lining that fitted with an overhang of about 15 mils, and then we put the beading around it from there, so that's welded in place. Inside the boot we have the original straps that came with the car, and new upholstery, and then also the woodwork was redone in marine ply and then coated with epoxy. New rubbers around the boot as well. These are the original straps that hold the luggage in place, and also with a new tyre as well. All new tyres around the car. The panel work, the repair work as such, was done by Phil Clark Motors in Silverdale, in Ariwa, and Ted at Henderson Vintage Restorations did a lot of the finishing from there. All around the area here was all lead, and also back in the seams here was all lead, and we replaced or built that up as required. New rubbers, original windows, the other 5 windows are the original ones, not perfect, manufacturing little holes and things in them, but that's just the way it is. And then the inside upholstery was copied off the existing upholstery, which had a cover over it, so there was a second layer of upholstery on top of this layer. So all the floor mats have been done as well. and then we reinstalled the hood lining along with the interior light that came with it as an extra when the car was manufactured or put together in Wellington, Lower Hutt at Ford in approximately November 1948. The floors were replaced with the wooden floors that it came with. They were rebuilt as well, and also retained the original leather straps that came with the jack area where the jack goes in to lift the car if you unfortunately get a flat tyre. So we retained all the leather from that. A new wiring loom was purchased from Australia that did the whole car. We put it with extra tail lights and indicator lights in case we didn't get a pass from the MOT for certification. So, but they passed it on the trafficators, which we have, and they work on both sides. Lights still go. We fitted a 6-volt fuel pump, of which the whole system is 6 volts, just to assist with the starting of the car. Sometimes when it's a bit cold in the winter, it's a little bit harder to start, but this has helped it tremendously. The car was accepted even without any physical proof that it was manufactured in New Zealand. The only proof we had was going by the serial numbers on the chassis, and we found out from Ford New Zealand, or through the archives, that it had been assembled in New Zealand. The engine was rebuilt by Paramount Engineering in Silverdale. 30 thou oversize on the bore. Was pretty good, not a lot of wear. It's an S rated motor, which is a standing motor. It's not the original. The original was replaced. This was replaced about 40 years ago. Radiator was refurbished, and the new 6-volt battery. Vacuum for the washing of the windscreen with the wipers, and a filament air filter, just to keep the oil bath that it used to have away from it as such. She's done 2,300 miles on the reconditioned motor. Just get a shot of the, if I can, the numbers. It's E494A, chassis number 0397600. Many hours of breaking down, bagging parts, finding what new parts we needed. A lot of them obtained from New Zealand and small Ford spares in the UK, basics in New Zealand, and a few others as well. Very straight, no obvious repair work done on the chassis, and no bog either. So we've got some filler, but only on certain areas where we had to use it. The tail light was ex-UK, refurbished old stock, which brings back the how it was produced when it came off the production line. This car was made up of a 10-horse engine. Extras were the running boards, and then the interior light was extra as well. so you could order the car as you required, made up to suit. New accelerator cables and pads for the brake, clutch and accelerator. New rubbers for the gear stick, and then all new at the back here as well, and hood lining with the original wooden slats in the roof. Only thing that's not a original on it are the screws, which I will try and source at some stage for all the Bakelite surrounds. Bakelite was in a real mess. We restored that. We found some information from other people on how it was to restore it, and put that together. We've done approximately 148,000 miles, 2,300 miles, as I said, on the rebuild motor. Added in the wiring loom, some speakers, cords, but there's no radio attached. Came with an existing period aerial. These here were all Bakelite, but I couldn't restore them, they were too far gone, so I just painted them. 6-volt system. All in all, she's a pretty tidy little unit. I'm pretty proud of her. And just want to put her up on YouTube just to see what can be done in the way of restoration for these little projects. So I hope you enjoy looking at this. Ask any questions if you like, and I'll do my best to answer them. It's not a concourse car, but it's to a high standard.